There are specific reasons why most people never learn a new language. I've been learning languages for years and today I speak 5 of them: from French, English, Chinese, and German. And the number one excuse that I hear from people who still haven't got fluent is always the same. I'm not smart enough. I don't know how to do it. It's too complicated. I need more time. I need the right resources. But here's what's insane. 99% of people who say this are wrong. Unless you're trying to learn a language that died 1,000 years ago, learning a modern language is actually simpler than you think. The average polyglots learn a new language in about 1 year. So clearly, the problem isn't the process. The problem is how people think about the process. Once you understand this, you realize that you've been focusing too much on the learning part of language learning, when in reality, it's about a few habits done the right way. And what I'm about to share with you will completely change how you see language learning, because it all starts with understanding this one mindset. So in the next part of the video, I'll talk about the mindset that you have to have in order to speak any language. The first one is you have the time to speak any language, because some people think that they have to speak fastly. When they start doing something, they have to do it quickly. No, improvement is about motion, not speed. Of course, you can speak fastly, you can speak quickly, but it depends on some aspect of your language learning. So what I mean by that is, don't try to learn as quick as you can if you cannot do it, because some people want to learn fast, want to speak languages fast, and they end up never speaking this language because it becomes difficult for them, and they make what is not difficult difficult. So what I mean by that is to choose the time that you think you can use to learn the language. If you think that you can learn a language in 1 year, then use 1 year to dispatch your time according to that. If you think that you can do it in 2 years, then use 2 years. But don't say that, yeah, I'm gonna learn in 6 months if you don't have enough time for that. So use the time that you have. What I'm sure of, anyone who practice language learning and have these 5 mindset that I'm going to talk about will be able to speak any language in 1 year, maximum 1 year. When I say speak, I'm talking about expressing yourself fluently with people. It encompasses the four aspects of language learning: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So if you have these 5 mindset, I'm sure that you'll be able to speak any language I say, in maximum 1 year. And people never finish learning a language. Like, even native speaker keep learning new words every day. But when it comes to speak fluently, I'm sure of that you can do it. The second mindset that I'm going to talk about is that you control the speed of your learning. When you're learning a language, you control the speed of your learning. It's up to you to choose how fast you want to speak this language, because the speed of your language learning is based on your practice. If you choose to work hard, to practice fastly, to practice the frequency of your practice is high, then you'll be able to speak quickly. If you choose to practice slowly, you'll take longer time to speak compared to someone who decide to practice fastly. But there is a problem. If we consider the first mindset that I talk about, don't choose a time that you think you cannot handle. Of course, at the beginning, we think that we can handle them when we make these choices. We think that we can do it like, I can practice, for example, maybe Spanish 2 hours a day. Maybe I decide to practice Spanish 2 hours a day, but I realize that it is too much. Then I have to decrease the amount of time in order to match my possibility. And then I will be able to do it. Even if you decide to learn Spanish 2 hours every day, and you don't respect it compared to someone who decide to learn Spanish only 10 minutes every day and respect this frequency, it will be possible for this person to speak better than you because they have a frequency of learning. And that's how our brains work. If you have a frequency and you respect that, you will be able to learn to teach your brain how to speak this language correctly. So your speed depends on you, but based on the first mindset that I talk about, you cannot choose a speed that you cannot handle. That's what almost everyone does. They choose something that they cannot do. They want to speak faster, but they don't want to do the hard work. If you want to speak, if you just want to speak, you don't need to practice fastly, because improvement, like I said, is about motion, not speed. You don't need to speak faster. You don't need to practice fastly if you want to improve yourself. The third mindset that I'm going to talk about is you become better by doing, not thinking. So a lot of people, yes, a lot of them think that they can just speak any language by thinking. And most of the time when they start, learning a language by vocabulary or grammar, they just like read, write, but they don't speak. That's why in most of my videos I talk about speaking from day one. This is really important. Some people just think in their head, but when you speak, what happens? When you start speaking a language, your brain learns the pattern of how you pronounce the words. So the pronunciation are different in, you know, almost every languages. The pronunciation are different. So you have to learn in, you know, from the beginning, you cannot do them perfectly. You cannot pronounce every word perfectly in the language you are learning. You have to practice. And that's why I said you become better by doing, not thinking. And it is the same thing for listening. I mean, a lot of people say that they can speak a language, but they cannot understand people, I mean, native speaker where they speak. So the solution is to listen to native speakers. If you could understand them, then you will not practice, you will not be learning this language. It's because you don't understand them that you have to listen. This is the reason, and you have to get used. And let me tell you something, when you will start listening to them, of course you will not understand them. If you could understand them, you will not start listening to them in order to improve yourself. At the beginning, you will not understand them. This is what happens every time, but you have to keep listening. It's about making your brain understand what they are saying, and it becomes clear by making it a habit. So if you want to read, if you want to improve your reading or your pronunciation, you have to read. If you want to improve your writing, you have to write. If you want to improve your listening, then you have to listen. And of course, if you want to improve your speaking, you have to speak. You become better by doing, not thinking. You have to practice. You have to take action. It's not about just thinking. It's about doing the things that you want to happen in your life. The fourth mindset, forget about mistakes at first. So when you start learning a language, you have to make mistake. A lot of people thinks that, they don't have to make mistake, or they are scared of making mistake. Sometimes they are ashamed of making mistake. Don't care. You have to make your mind completely free when you're learning a language. Like, you just speak, express yourself, discover new things in the language. Just use the words that you learn. That's how you learn. If you don't make mistake, you cannot learn. There's no improvement without mistakes. And because you might be ashamed of expressing yourself, you will not be able to understand the mistakes that you're making, and then there will be no improvement in what you're saying. So you have to have this mindset of making mistake for improvement. Making mistake is not delaying your language learning, but on the contrary, it is improving the speed of your learning, because when you make mistake, you learn and then you become better. So when you speak with people, just express yourself, be free. Speak by using all the words that comes in your mind. And if it is not right, they'll just tell you, oh, this word, I think it doesn't have to be used here. And then you will improve yourself. So it's about making mistake and improvement. Don't be scared, don't be ashamed, just speak freely by using all the words that you have in your head. That's how you improve faster without spending a lot of energy or spending a lot of time. Okay, so here is the most important part of the mindset that I'm gonna give you. The last one, it's about consistency. This is the most important part of my list of mindset that you have to know in order to improve yourself, in order to improve your language learning. It's about consistency. If you do everything that I just told you in this video and you add this one, I mean, you're gonna come back and tell me that, it's the best video ever, because consistency is gonna help you to improve yourself. Let's say that you decide to learn a language and you say that you will improve yourself, or you will speak this language like 5 minutes a day. You will maybe practice 5 minutes a day. If you keep practicing 5 minutes a day, there is no way that you cannot improve yourself, that you will not be able to speak this language. It's impossible. Some people will say 5 minutes is too small, so they cannot do it. Some people will say 5 minutes is too small, then I will do 1 hour or 2 hours. And they will, yes, of course, they will do it. They will do it for 1 week, 2 weeks, even 3 weeks, or even 1 month. But I'm sure that most people after 1 month or you know an amount of time will give up, because they try to set the bar higher than they could handle. So if you want to be consistent, you just have to follow the mindset that I just talked about in the video, because they will help you to stay consistent. Because I mean, consistency seems easy, but it's actually the most difficult thing for human beings in any area. So whether you're learning any language, consistency is very difficult. And if you just focus on the mindset that I told you, you'll be able to be consistent. You'll be able to set a regular time for your practice, and you will be able to speak any language fluently. People will be impressed by you. People will be shocked by your improvement, because if you tell them that I just practice 5 minutes a day, they will not believe you. If you can do only 5 minutes, then do it. I mean, if you really want to learn a language, and if you can only do 5 minutes a day, then do it. If you can do 30 minutes, then do 30 minutes. But don't try to set the bar too higher, because it will prevent you to be consistent, and then you will not be able to speak this language perfectly, and you will be stuck in a loop in which you will not finally speak the language you want to speak. It is not difficult, we make it difficult for ourselves. So if you want to be able to speak the language you're learning, just follow this 5 mindset, and I'm sure that you will do it. So if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to click the like button, and if you have any question that you want to ask, just drop a comment below. If you have something that you don't understand, just drop a comment below and I'll be there to answer your question. So I'll see you in the next one.